All right, I just have a couple minutes right now before I have to teach. So let's go ahead and take a look at Peloton. This is what I just posted for you guys. This is on the 1 hour chart. Let's go ahead and start making our adjustments. I'm going to take this, scoot it a little bit further down. We're going to adjust that. Okay, that's pretty interesting. If you notice, we're right at this resistance. We're getting very close to it, you can see. Okay. What else? If I go a little bit closer down here. All right. There's an original line here that was broken. We still have, so we've got a downtrend here that was recently broken. And this downtrend was recently broken. Okay, so we are starting to, like if you want to understand it in terms of our angles, right? We had a very large downward drop. That downward drop has now smoothed itself out, started to create more of a bottom and a flattening process, okay? Let's add on a couple of indicators. We started to curl in anyway. So our moving averages, they're starting to squeeze a little bit closer, but volume's what has me thinking it's not necessarily a real bottom for this. The issue here, company itself still isn't doing very well. So like, geez, look at that, right? They're losing money. They haven't properly restructured. Earnings is going to come up. I can see it maybe running up a little bit, but I don't see necessarily earnings helping them. Profit margins doing terrible. Estimates still a loss. It's saying buy on some of these analyst ratings, but again, companies doing, they really have to turn things around. And until they do, I wouldn't necessarily trust that they do. Now, for a short-term play, I do see that here we are starting to break up above previous resistance. All right, you've bounced off of it twice already. Here's a third test, but now what we do have is we do have more buying, if you might imagine, down here. So got more buying right here. The last time you had buyers was up here, okay? So what will happen is if these people feel trapped with the company, they're gonna try to get out. It'll keep pushing it down. But if they were just early buyers, right? They're down here, that's not too bad. It could push back. So what we're looking at here is on the daily, we're headed back toward this, my yellow line should be my 100-day moving average. Let me give you that. Oh, sorry, 50. Sorry, 50. Okay, 50-day moving. That's better. Okay, so first, I would expect that we're going to bounce off of that to an extent. Bounce off of that. Oops, sorry about that. Bounce off of that. And if we do have, if the sellers, if they don't start selling right there, we do have a chance of breaking back. So first, breaking back into this channel, at least down here. So now the thing with Peloton, though, just overall, I don't really love the company for, with what they're doing. They have good infrastructure. They've got a lot of stuff going on, but the company itself just is under terrible management. So that's why I would avoid it in terms of it. They used to be worth, I think, 16 bill. No, 60 bill. I wanted to say, I need to double check that number, but their market cap used to be huge. They're down to under $1 billion for their revenue. And when you take a look at it, right, they're $3 billion. They've dropped a lot in terms of their worth. Yeah, that's all I really wanted to say about this. So generally what in terms of play, what you're looking at here is you're looking now at, there's this resistance right here. So if we can start making it up above that, you first have the 50-day moving average as resistance. You have this bigger trend down line that is just being drawn from where we're at. Once you break those, then yeah, so you do have some solid buying. We've got some good volume right here. But just be careful. That also, keep in mind, very possibly down here could have been a short covering rally. And that ultimately would just mean that maybe we might go up and trap, you know, they might try to trap a couple of bulls up here, or even, you know, if they really wanted to, just look at what they did with the Peloton beforehand, push it up to one of these previous situations here. Okay, so, you know, right before the big drop, that candle and the resistance, that's where you probably would want to look at in terms of it. There's even this one here too. So I could see it bouncing off of any of those and actually headed further down past these. There's no guarantee this is a headed up situation, especially when you look bigger picture, guys. Like here, let me take off all the other information on here. Oh, I still want my volume. All right. Wyckoff would tell you on the bottom here, you're going to look for a large amount of volume that confirms that the composite man or the big money is trying to accumulate shares, right? They're the ones that push things up. They're the ones that dump it before it comes down. But at the end of the day, do any of these necessarily show? Okay, this one candle maybe, but there isn't necessarily anything that shows that this is, you know, we're getting ready to buy again. Okay. The pop that you might experience, let's take a look at these quick indicators on the bottom. If my RSI, okay, so there we go. That's why we might be experiencing the pop here. Notice that. What you have is you have lower down here, but you got higher lows on some of these indicators then. That's very likely what led to the pop. We're just gonna use the 50-day as that resistance. You might peak up above it, just like up here, but notice that at this point, you don't have too much above it. And we've continuously respected values below. So just be careful with that specific resistance. Right now it's at about 1150. 1150, you can take a look at the top left right up here. And yeah, 1150 is that moving average. All right, that's all I really wanted to get you guys for this. I will be doing a recording later today at 6:30 for you. So please, if you do have time, go ahead and join me there and be more than happy to have you and go over additional charts. All right.